that you will definitely encounter challenges doing your as a living life the way you want to live. But it's a mindset, just like we're about to treat mindset today. It's a mindset block. And the reason why I say so is because I know teachers who are doing well financially. I know teachers who are doing well for themselves. So how are these teachers able to really earn well and still teach? That's exactly what we want to discuss tonight. Sorry, yeah, tonight. It's right to say tonight. And I really like to be practical when I'm doing trainings like this. So I'll be using examples that we can relate with. I've been able to categorize, I'm not concentrating on teachers alone, but educators as a whole. So I've been able to categorize educators into four different people. Okay. I'm using four different representatives of educators that I know. Now, the representations that I'm giving you tonight might not be the exact same scenario as you, but you definitely see some things that are similar. Okay, you see similar traits in those educators. So let's start with this educator. Her name is Auntie Zainab. And with Auntie Zainab, Auntie Zainab is school teacher. She's fondly called Auntie Zainab. I don't know if you've taught in the local school before. They are used to calling their teachers uncles and aunties, even though I don't subscribe to that. So Auntie Zainab is a school teacher and she teaches in a local school. Excuse me.
Sorry.
She's usually in debt before the end of the month, eagerly awaiting the next salary so that she can pay for the needs and the debts that she has incurred before the salary comes in. She's also responsible for family needs. Okay, so she's a major contributor to the finance of the family. Now, what else does she do to complement her income? Because definitely what she earns is not enough for her. So she does extra lessons for pupils in her community or for some of the children that she teaches. But then how much are they able to pay her? The parents are only able to afford the little that they can give her, but it still complements her salary in some ways. Now, what else does she do? She hears that a friend of ours is doing an e-commerce business or is doing something and is giving her is making money for her. She quickly jumps at it and she's doing it. This is the scenario of many teachers that I know today. I'm not giving you something I brought from my head, but I know teachers who do this. So you have teachers that, aside the fact that they are teaching, they have wares that they've gone to buy from Lagos market and they sell. So this is a way that they try to complement the income that they make. But then they still find out that at the end of the month, it is still not enough for them to cater for their needs. Then we have someone called Mr. Chris. Who is Mr. Chris? Mr. Chris is also a school teacher. He teaches in a driving school. Okay, the school is better than that of Auntie Zainab. He's moderately paid, so he earns say between 80,000 to 100,000 naira. He's still able to cater for some of his needs, but the money is still not enough for him because of the kind of his standard of living. Okay, and now he happens to be the first son of his family, so he has family members that rely on him. He has younger ones that rely on him for this same source of income. Mr. Chris is also looking to start a family for himself. He's hoping to get married, but the salary he has is not even enough. What else does he do to complement this income? So he teaches, please pardon me, he teaches lots of students extra lessons. And of course, he makes a bit more from this source of income. But the money is still not enough. Now let's look at another person, Mr. Emeka. This Mr. Emeka. Mr. Emeka is a school leader. So he's not just a teacher. He has worked and he has paid his dues. They've now made him a leader in his school. He teaches in an eyebrow school. He has well, really well. They pay him well. Excuse me. But then Mr. Emeka still runs into debt. Why am I saying this? Some people believe that it's the place where they work. So, for example, someone like Auntie Zainab will believe that because she's earning very little, that's the reason why the money is not enough for her. and that's why she usually runs into debt before the end of the month. But one thing that we don't know is that no matter what level you are, no matter the level of financial security that you are, you will get to a stage where you will still run into debts, depending on the bills that you have to pay, okay, and the commitments that you have concerning your finances. So it is not tailored to people that are working and earning very, very low. You can be earning really good and still having a lot of challenges with your finances. So Mr. Emeka works in a very big school. He gets paid well, but then the money is still not enough for him. He still runs into debt sometimes, okay? And he's constantly looking for more source of income. So he's either constantly looking for better places to apply to, or he's looking for more opportunities where he can get money from. So what else does he do? He teaches, not supposed to be teaching, forgive me. He teaches children of parents in rich homes because, of course, in the school where he works, the people that are able to afford such school fees can pay him more for the same service for the same number of hours that he works, like Mr. Chris and Auntie Zainab. So he earns really well from that. And now what else does he do with the income that he makes? Sometimes he invests his earnings. That's the only way he knows to multiply his income. Then we have this educator that is called Mrs. Elizabeth. Mrs. Elizabeth is not a teacher. She's not a school leader, but she's the school consultant. Okay, so she consults for school. She's probably worked as an educator or a classroom teacher for years and decided that no, she wants to start something for herself. And now she decides to begin to consult for schools. Excuse me. Please pardon me. Now, because it's something that she just started, her earnings are not consistent, okay? She's still trying to find her feet. So she doesn't earn enough even to sustain her. So what else does she do? She adopts every trend and every idea that promises good earnings. So someone comes to her and says, me, I'm doing Forex, so Forex pays well. And then she jumps on it and she's doing Forex. Or she comes to me and somebody say, there's this agri-tech investment, you do it, and then she just jumps on every opportunity. Now, if you are following this, you will realize that this is something that many of us today, that is especially in Nigeria, where we are, that is what we do. And it's now more terrible because the economic situation is getting worse by the day. Economic situation is getting worse by the day. Things are getting more expensive. People's earning is not increasing. So there's a tendency to always jump on the next available thing that you believe will earn you more income. Then we have, I keep thinking I'm working on PowerPoint. So I keep pressing the next forward button, not knowing I'm using PDF, sorry. Okay, so we have this last educator, Mrs. Daramola. She's a school owner. She employs between 100 to 500 staff, all right? She's a multi-millionaire and she has many on her payroll. Successful entrepreneur, she's doing so well for herself. What else does she do? She has chains of other educational related business. She's also an educator. So what am I trying to explain to you? There are different levels of educators. There are different classes of educators. Okay. Now, so the only thing that is no, before I tell you what is different about them, I would like you to please share. I was hoping that this class would be so interactive. I'd like for you to share what's different about these educators. What's different about these educators? What's different about the educators? We started with me, Auntie Amina. Then we went on to Mr. Chris, Auntie Amina from low cost school. Then we went on to Mr. Chris, that is earning moderately well. Mr. Emeka, school leader, earning very well.
Okay, she's stuck.
Still in debt and looking for more income. The earnings are not consistent. Her earnings are not consistent, but and then she adopts just anything that comes to her. And then we now have this school owner, a proprietor of a school, multi-millionaire, and then she has chains of business and a lot of people on her payroll. Please give me 2 minutes. I'll be back shortly.
All right. So we can use this opportunity to think on the different teachers. By the way, we are live on YouTube. You can share the link to your status, your friends. You know, let's bring them in. I know this is going to be such a great class. The amount they earn is different, but they have the same struggles. On YouTube.
Bella, say, give this to Mary. Please, sorry about that. Okay, so do we have any comments? Do we have any comments?
Yes, so Tolu said the amount they earn is different, but they have the same struggles.
Okay, the amount they earn is different, but they have the same struggle.
Yeah.
Okay,
Who else? Or do you want her to run over, like, just give a summary of the different teachers if possible?
I said that again.
No, I'm saying, like, is it that they want you to like touch on the different teachers again, or
okay.
everybody's just being quiet?
Let me quickly run through them again, just one more time. So first I started with Auntie Zainab. She teaches in a low-cost school. She's poorly paid, always running into debt. She caters for her family needs. She teaches children in her community extra lessons, all right? That's what comes easy to her. Though the money that they pay her is little. And then she adopts other things like e-commerce and any other trending business that anyone talks about. Then we have Mr. Chris, also a school teacher, teaches in a thriving school, also always running into debt. First son of his parents, has younger siblings that depend on him. What else? He's even hoping to start a family of his own, but his money is just not enough. So what else does he do? He teaches lots of extra students. He doesn't even have enough time for himself because he's committing more time to earning more money and teaching students extra lessons. Then we have Mr. Emeka, school leader. He's not just a teacher, he's a school leader. He's earning well, working for one of the top schools in town. But sometimes he also runs into debt and he's also still looking to earn more. What else does he do? He has access to parents, rich parents. He teaches the children. They pay him so good. He's earning a lot from that, but he still wants more. And sometimes he invests his money. That is how he knows to multiply his earning. Then we have Miss Elizabeth, the school consultant. She has taught for some years. She decided to go into consulting. Now, because she started newly, her earnings are not consistent. She doesn't have enough to sustain herself. So what else does she do to complement her income? She adopts every trend. Every trend. Someone tells her this is trending and is making money, she does it. This is trending and is making money, she does it. Because she needs to feed. She needs to cater for her immediate needs. Then we have Mrs. Daramola, the school owner. Employs 100 to 500 staff. Multi-millionaire, has a lot on her payroll. She pays people, successful entrepreneur. What else does she do? She still has other chains of business outside the school that she's running. They are all educational related businesses that she does, and they still earn her money. So the question is, what's different about them? And Opayemi has said that they earn different amounts or they earn different salary, but they have the same challenge, which is very correct. They earn different income, but they have the same challenge. But why do you think that they are earning different amounts? That is the major of the financial mindset of teachers. It all boils down to capacity. It boils down to capacity. They have different capacity. The way Auntie Zainab, I can't remember the name I gave her, the way she thinks is different from the way Mrs. Daramola thinks. The way Mr. Chris thinks is different from the way the consultant thinks. The way the man that is working in a school that pays him so well thinks is different from the way the school owner thinks. Now, and one thing is that your capacity, what you have within you, determines what you become. Your capacity determines what you become. For example, Auntie Zainab that works in a local school, there is no way she can, even if she applies to the kind of school that Mr. Emeka works in, there's a 90% chance that she would not be employed because our thinking will be limited to the kind of people that are in our environment. Our thinking is limited to the kind of people and the things in our surroundings. Okay, so the first thing that you need to check is your capacity. What do I have within me? What I have within me, is it enough for me to earn more? Now, how do we earn more? There are different ways you can earn more. You can earn more as a teacher by applying to places where they will pay you well. You can earn more as a teacher by creating the things that, by creating for yourself what will earn you more income, okay, to complement the one you get from your salary. So it is not wrong that all of these people are doing other things to complement their income, because I also do the same thing. I have other businesses that I do to complement their income. But then that capacity within you will determine how far you go with whatever thing that you are doing as extra to complement the. So quickly, I would like you to think about it. You don't have to type it in the comments. Which one of these people represents you the most? Are you an Auntie Zainab? Do you look like Mr. Chris? Is your situation anything like Mr. Emeka, the school leader? Or are you someone who has taught for some years and you are now doing educational business for yourself? You feel that with the knowledge that you've gained from your teaching experience, you cannot use it to train others. Are you such person? Or are you a person that started a school for yourself and you're just trying to grow it? You have people that you are paying. Which one of them do you relate with the most? Just think about it to yourself. Okay, so I'm trying not to exceed the time that we have, because I want us to ask questions and I'll be willing to answer the questions that we have. Just should I not have the things that you want to ask in my slides? Okay, so I'm trying as much as possible to hurry up with my slides. Now, these are the common mindset blocks of teachers. Common mindset block of teachers. Already, like I said at the beginning, most educators believe that educators are not well paid. In fact, you believe it so much that if an outsider tells you that educators are not well paid, you will quickly say, yes, it's true, we are not well paid. And there's something that bothers me and in fact annoys me. If you go to most of the Facebook groups of teachers in Nigeria, you are seeing them complaining about finances. They're always complaining about finances. Either they're complaining about the school proprietor, or they're complaining about private schools, or they're complaining about their earnings are not enough. You have sold that lie to yourself. Meanwhile, the major focus, what you need to focus on is your capacity to earn more. Now, I always say this, the very first salary I earned as an educator, as a classroom teacher, now the subject teacher, was 16,000 naira. I was teaching maths and physics, okay? I was teaching maths, I was teaching physics, I was teaching computer science, all 3 subjects. So you can imagine teaching all of those, so not even one subject. The subject of different things, and you're taking 16,000 naira. The time that it got to me and I was really pissed was I applied to a school immediately after service, and then they told me that they were going to pay me 25,000 naira. And she now told me that don't go to another place. Even if you go to another place, that's what they will pay you. That's what they pay around here. And to make things worse, in addition to the classroom teaching, you're also going to be the hostel mistress. I said, no, my house is not far away. I don't. She said, no, we'll provide accommodation and food for you. In my mind, I was like, did I tell you that I'm hungry? Why are you selling food as a bait for me to stay? Then she now went on to say, and then when we give you the job, please don't come and tell us that you want to get married, though, because you have to stay. Oh my goodness, all of these conditions for 25,000.
For 25K.
I was doing my master's at the time, and I was just thinking to myself, you finished your BSc, you're doing masters, and someone wants to pay you 25,000, she's giving you a condition not to even get married. How long will I do this for? So that was That was like the break for me. I was like, no, I can't catch myself doing this. So that cut off that thing, when she told me that that's what they pay around there, you can't get better than this. Do you know another educator will accept it? And that's
Yeah.
because of the mindset. She would have sold that lie to you that you can't earn more than that. And you would have just said, well, it's true. I've also had someone say that the school, that very big school, I know they also pay this, and you just accept it and accept trash. Depends on your capacity. What do you want? What do you want for yourself? Where do you see yourself going? If you think that you have to accept everything that comes to you, then I'm sorry, you might not leave the financial level that you are. Okay, so just cut off that mindset block that educators are not well. There are educators that are well paid, but then they have shown the capacity to the employers that yes, I am worth this amount. And trust me, they pay them well. They pay them well right in this country, Nigeria. Now, another mindset block is that you can't really make it as sorry, that's supposed to be entrepreneur. It's not even entrepreneur. I wanted to write educators. You can't really, I'm going to correct all of this and probably share with you later. You can't really make it as an educator. You can make it as an educator. I am an educator and I'm making it. There are many examples of educators out there. They are making, I'm sure you see them yourself on social media. The educators that are making it. There's an educator I follow on social media. She did a topic. I also written something about it once on my social media platform. That is things that people think about educators. She said that most people, when they see her, they don't believe that she's an educator. Are you sure you're a teacher? Are you addressing like this? Because they have in their mindset that teachers are supposed to be dressed in a certain way. Of course, they are poorly paid, so why should they have the money to dress well? As a teacher, why should you have money to get a car? Please erase the mindset that you cannot make it as an educator. It depends on your mindset and the capacity that you carry. Another person will say, ex-educators make it, and I heard that some of them, they do some extra things to earn income. But trust me, I don't have the time. Now, this will be somebody like Mr. Chris and Mr. Emeka. Why would they say so? Because after they wake up in the morning, for somebody like Mr. Emeka, who is a school leader, I'm talking from experience, he will wake up very early in the morning. He has to get to the school before every other person because he's a leader and he has to show examples. Then he will close late. And when he closes late, because he's taking children from other places, he has to run up to their houses to take extra lessons. He gets home very late in the night. He's tired. He's hardly had good food to eat during the day. Okay, he gets home, he's tired, he can't do anything for himself. The following morning, he has woken up very early and is rushing back to work. So it's people like that that will say, trust me, I honestly don't have time to achieve more financially. But that is a lie that you're selling to yourself. All right. For example, I'm a teacher and I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. Why do I have to wake up at 4:30 in the morning? Because I have children that also have to prepare. Okay, prepare for they are going to school. If I don't have children, then I can still have the luxury of sleeping an extra 1 hour. I rush off to work and I close early. Though unlike Mr. Emeka, I don't have to teach extra lessons. I've done that in the past. I don't do that anymore. So it is not wrong to do that. But then I'm just trying to say that irrespective of what you do, you can still create time. All right. 24 hours will not be enough for you to do everything. It will never be enough. It doesn't matter what you want to do. 24 hours will never be enough. You are the one that will intentionally create the time that you need to make progress. You have to be intentional about it. Now, those people that we see that are doing well and are making good money, they are intentional about the things that they do. They don't give excuses, because by saying that you don't have time, what you're doing is that you're giving an excuse. And once you're giving an excuse, your mind is blocked. Your mind is blocked. Your mindset, everything around you keeps telling you, I don't have time. I don't have time. But if you commit and just think in a day and say, I'm going to commit 1 hour to doing this, trust me, that 1 hour, you're going, if you can't do 1 hour for the first day, if you do 20 minutes, if you do it consistently for 7 days, 14 days, you'll keep increasing the pace. Before you know it, you're doing something else. You're doing something that you thought that you could not initially achieve. Someone else will say, okay, so I've heard that they said for me to increase my capacity, I need to attend a lot of training. I need to increase the knowledge I have. I need to get certifications so that when I apply to bigger schools, they can employ me. And suppose somebody will say, is it out of my 10,000 naira salary? Is it out of my 16,000 naira salary? That's another mindset block. Because okay, let me ask you. So if you decide not to save up that money for the training that is going to take you to an higher place, by keeping the money that you have and not spending it, are you going to move to that place that you are looking to get to? You definitely would not get there. So why not just try and then save it up, maybe 1,000 naira per month, or you can even take a loan and pay it gradually because you know that what you're looking to get is going to benefit you at the end of the day. Why not just go through that pain for a little period? Even the time that you're going to use or commit to a particular task, say 1 hour a day, it's not convenient for anyone. Every time when I need to work on my business and I need to take like 2-3 hours, it has gotten to a point. Sometimes my daughter will come to me and just say, Mommy, I want you to play with me, but I'm busy staring at the laptop and I'm working. Now, it's not the kind of relationship I want to have with my parents. I don't even have my children. I don't have enough time for them. So what do you do? You just have to be intentional about managing your time. 1 hour I used to play with my kids. 1 hour. The major people that complain the most are married women. They give excuses. I have to cater for my children. I have to cater for my husband after going to school in the morning and come back in the evening. But these are mindset blocks. It's going to limit you. It's going to limit you. There is no how you want to do better financially and you are giving excuses. So please cut off the mindset block. Another thing is that you are just in your comfort zone. So the way Mrs. Daramola, the school owner, is thinking is different from the way any of those teachers will be thinking. But for the teachers, they're in their comfort zone. At the end of the month, the salary comes to them. It's easy. At the end of the month, salary comes to them. They already know, they are waiting. I'm very sure at the end of the month, salary comes to me. But how do you think Ms. Daramola will be thinking? I have people to pay. I need to make sure things get done. I need to make sure I have things get done. I need to make sure that I do the right things to earn money to pay these people. They are thinking in different ways. That is why I encourage educators to think like entrepreneurs. It is what has worked for me. I think like an entrepreneur. So although I am in paid employment, I also try to create something that will bring more money to me. Because whether you like it or not, no matter how much you're earning under paid employment, you will still want more. So if you cannot, because and trust me, your employer will not keep increasing your salary every month. It's impossible. The best you can get is that they increase it after your appraisal yearly. Okay. And then your needs, for example, presently in Nigeria, every week I go to the market, things have increased and the salary is still the same. So imagine that I have to depend on only that. You need to think like an entrepreneur. Even the extra lesson you do, you can treat it like a business. Treat it like a business. Don't treat it as a side hustle. Don't treat it like an extra lesson. Treat it like a business. And one thing you need to know is that in doing business, doing business is not easy. It's not something that is an easy walk in the park that you just do and then you blow. Sorry, it's not like that. If anybody has told you that before, they are selling you a lie. You need to be patient with it. You need to be consistent with it. And eventually, by the time it works, you are the one that will look back and you'll be happy that you invested all of the time that you invested all the money that you had to take to learn things. All right. So as an educator, do not limit yourself to just a teacher in the classroom. Think like an entrepreneur. That is why I'm particular about the word I call edupreneur. Okay. I like to talk about being an edupreneur, an educator with an entrepreneur. So we combine educator and entrepreneurship together. Always think like an entrepreneur. When you have the mindset of the person who is creating a business, the way you think will be different. You will not be thinking lack. You'll be thinking of how to create things that will earn you money. Because as an entrepreneur, you're not thinking of someone that will dash you money. You're thinking of what you can do that will bring you money. That is how the owner of your school will think. She's not thinking of someone that will come and give her money at the end of the month. She's thinking of how she can earn money to pay others. So please, all of those mindset blocks, if it relates to you, if you can relate with any one of them, please from today, try to cut them up. I have just 2 more slides and then we'll have time for our questions. So what can you do differently? The very first thing, break the limiting belief. Break the limiting belief. Believe it or not, it's the only reason you are the level where you are. Break the limiting belief. I've given you some examples of mindset blocks. See that scissors, cut everything. One thing that one of my coach taught me to do, she told us to write all of our limiting beliefs, write it down in a paper, take a match, light it, and burn it off. You know, when you do some things practically, you kind of connect with it that yes, I'm burning this thing to work. It is now ashes, it is no longer me, it is in my past. Break your limiting beliefs. All of those things that you've been thinking of and that's been holding you back, that's making you tired or making you reluctant to launch out. Please, you need to stop it. If you don't stop it, you will remain at the level that you are. You will remain at the level that you are. I know that you might have been seeing people telling you, and of course, now that it's a digital age, it's easy to make money online. That's what they say. It's easy to make money online. Create a workbook, create a this, create a that, you will earn money. It's not as easy. Last month, someone was in my DM. I was asking me, I've written so number of books, but people are not buying. Teachers don't like to buy books. Sorry, it's not because they don't know how to buy books. It's because you have not done what you just heard that people are writing books. You jumped, you went and wrote your own book, and you think that they will just come and buy. They will not just come and buy. They will not just come and buy. So people that are telling you, don't worry, write a book. When you write a book, you will sell. I don't, like I said before, people are jumping at things that will bring them money. And when somebody has told you, I do this, it will bring you money. The person that is telling you is probably telling you so that they can earn money from your ignorance, all right? Although you might be able to learn from them. So it is not that it is wrong to do that. It is right, but there are things that you need to learn. What am I saying? When you are looking at opportunities that people are presenting to you to earn money, be careful about how you perceive them. Okay. Now, and that leads me to something about there's one of the books I wrote is about clarity of purpose. Clarity of purpose. So when you are clear about your purpose, you don't jump at everything that people present to you because you know where you are going. Look at the example of Ms. Daramola that I gave you. And if I wouldn't lie to you, Ms. Daramola is an example of someone I know. Personally, I'm just not using a real name. She's educational person. Look at what else I said she's doing. Chains of what? Other educational related business. She's not doing Forex today and doing crypto tomorrow and doing what else again do we do? Jumping from pillar to everything. They just tell you this one, money, you run, you do. This, and then you know the funny thing, at the end of the day, we keep losing money. We keep losing money. Why do we lose money? Because we're looking for something that will give us quick money. They say, I do this one to give you 100%, you rush and you do it. Please, in most cases, those things that they tell you that will bring you quick money will not. At the end of the day, you lose your money. She does she's doing other educational related business because she knows her purpose. She knows what she wants to achieve. She's called to do education. Even if she's doing other businesses, they are still tied back to what? Education. Your own might not be education, it might be something else. That is why you need to be able to clarify your own purpose. But then when you know your purpose, everything you would do big. And you know what? When you know your purpose, you won't struggle. You won't struggle. Things that you will do will be natural. You will just enjoy and love doing it. And that is why, even if you're not making money immediately, because like I said before, to be an entrepreneur, you don't start to make money immediately, like they tell you. It takes a while. So even at that point where you're not making money, you still enjoy because it's something you enjoy doing. You will still keep enjoying doing it until the time where it's going to eventually pay off. So please, we need to understand our place of purpose. Now, what else can you do differently? Seek knowledge and embrace change. Seek knowledge and embrace change. You know the people that you look up to. You know the people that are representations of what you want to achieve. Please follow them. Follow them clearly. Now, a major mistake that most of us do is that you come to people's DM and say, I want you to mentor me. This person also has their own life. All right. So you might not really have access to the person one-on-one, but you can follow the things that they do. And there are ways to even ask people for mentorship that you would not really be intruding in their spaces. And trust me, these days, to have a one-on-one encounter with such people, you have to pay for it. And if you don't have the capacity to do that now, all you can do is follow their processes, follow them on social media, look at the things that they do, learn from it. All right. Learn from the things that they do. Be intentional about those that you follow. Don't just follow any random person. Be intentional about the people that you follow. People that, in fact, on your Facebook, if you need to go on your Facebook profile and check the people that are following, the posts that you see every day, you need to be intentional about the people that you follow, so that by the time, even if you are lagging and wasting away time on social media, you know that you're following the right people. That when you see their posts, it's going to encourage you to do something better towards the achievement of your goal. Then finally, you need to take action, because I know that one thing that many of us do, we see trainings that we attend, we see free trainings we attend, we see paid trainings, you keep on attending trainings, but how many of them have you applied? How many of them have you applied? It applies to me as well. In fact, there are many trainings that I've paid for that I have not finished going through. I keep on piling them up. Okay, I only take the relevant ones and leave the ones I feel I might need at the time, I might not eventually need. So please, we need to stop doing that. Once you attend a training like this, for example, if I were you, as I would have expected that you'd have been jotting while we're in this program. And at the end of this program, I will sit down and I will think of those things that have applied to me and those new things that I've thought about. And I'm going to think of the actions I'm going to take right away, immediately, okay, to achieve those things, to remove the mindset block first, that's to break my limiting belief. And I might even also begin to write down the names of people that I want to follow, so that when I see their post, I'm encouraged to move towards the goal that I have for myself. So that's what taking action is about. I'd like to stop here so that we'll have opportunity to have time. But before I stop, I have some resources for you that can help you. So this one, Discover Your Edupreneur Personality. There are free resources. You don't have to pay for it, so you don't need to be bothered about payment. It's Discover. I'm going to edit this later. Discover Your Edupreneur Personality is a quiz. It helps you to understand your personality and tie it to how you can become an edupreneur. It tells you your own unique personality. Then this one is a step ahead, okay? So it now helps you to, that unique personality that you've gotten, it helps you to be able to create next steps, step-by-step processes to follow to being to starting an entrepreneur business for yourself. Remember that when I said entrepreneur business, like I said earlier, something as simple as your extra lessons that you took, you can treat it as a business. And then I have the entrepreneur man, and this one is paid for. So even if you don't have money to get the paid for one, you can go and download these two. They are free, okay? They are free and you can get them here. Stellar.co/m/teachercomillionaire. But I'll give you time to ask your questions now so that I can quickly attend to them. We started a bit late, so we're running late. Do we have questions?
Well, that was so good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm trying to write the link. I hope I don't make a mistake. All right. So the link is up in the comment section. I know I've taken my Edupreneur personality test, but I cannot remember what was my result? I will look for it, but I took it. I actually took the test, your personality test. I took it, I'll look for it. All right, thank you so much, Mrs. Victoria. I have questions. I have loads of questions. Yes, people are saying thank you so much. That was loaded. Thank you so much, Ma. It was very insightful. God bless you, Ma. Amen. It was really needed. So do we have questions? You have questions. Iyanolua, is your background quiet? If your background is noisy, you can send your questions to the chat. But if it's quiet, if you're in a quiet environment, I can unmute you like right now. Please let me know. If you have a quiet background, it's quiet. Okay, so I'm going to ask to unmute and then you can ask your question.
Good evening, Ma.
Good evening.
Hi.
Good evening, Adora. Good evening, everybody. I'm fine. Thank you so much, Madam Victoria. Like, it was very, very insightful. Like, God, this is what I really need at the moment. Okay, so I'm a copper presently. I'm serving, and I plan to start job hunting in schools from June, July, pending the time I finish my service in October. Because once I finish my service, I want to go fully into my teaching career. And along the line, I also want to start my master's part-time. And this financial mindset for teachers, and it has really been on my mind because I don't want to start applying in schools and they'll start I'm echoing. I don't know where it's coming from.
Just go on.
Okay, so I don't want to start applying in schools and they start offering me 20,000, 30,000 and all. And because like I'm the sole person, like I'm the one that's going to finance my masters and all. So I don't like, my fear is not my question is what do I do to be different? Because I don't have any experience. The only experience I have in teaching is I'm a Sunday school teacher in my church, and my 7 months and teaching practice experience in school because I studied education. So I don't know, like what would you advise that I do to be different? And which schools will I apply to that they won't offer me like little income? I don't know. Can you just advise me? Because right now, like like throughout this week, I've just been thinking like where will I start from? I've been asking God, I'm telling God that God, you know my condition. So please help me in job hunting. So that's my question, ma.
Okay, so you know what? I can actually relate with, let me mute this. I can relate with your scenario, your situation. I also did education, right? And we all knew, everybody, in fact, I didn't want to do education. And why did you say that I didn't want to? We all know that teachers are not well paid. In secondary school, my teachers will be complaining in the classroom that they've not been paid for a month. And we even know that they were not well paid because the way they dress, you look at their shoes and you look at their shirts, and you find you are just thinking, is this person any? Why is this person like this? So I didn't even want to do it. But unfortunately now, because I'm now enjoying it, I did education. Now, when I wanted to serve my youth service, I like the word, I like telling people to be intentional. And I like the fact that you're already considering and thinking that you don't want to earn about 20,000 and you want more. That was the same situation for me. So I was intentional. During my youth corps service, I think that they will post me to schools that they don't pay well. I wrote letters by myself to schools. So I went on Google and set up schools in Lagos. Because I served in Lagos. I wrote letters and I was taking to all of the schools because I wanted them. Someone had told me that in Green Springs they pay them 50,000 as a cup. I said, 50,000 as a cup. And that was about it was 2013, 2014 thereabouts. So I wrote a list of schools and I wrote applications to them. But you know what happened? None of them accepted. None of them accepted me. Now I also used to have a neighbor that worked in one of those big schools. So I told him, I spoke with him and I said, at first I knew the school was working before. And I know that the school, they don't pay well in that school. The parents cannot be anything more than 20, 30,000. But all of a sudden, I noticed that this man wakes up very early and goes to work. Before I knew, this man has gotten a car. Is this man still a teacher? So I was worried. I now went to meet him. I said, sir, please, this school that you are going, I would like to know how things work there. You know why? Because the schools that I'm familiar with are the schools that are not capable of paying well. But this man is now teaching in another kind of school, and within months, his financial life has changed. So I spoke with him. I know what this man needs to do. He asked me what I studied. I told him I did computer science, okay? So I told him, he said he was going to link me with their computer science teacher in their own school. And he arranged a meeting for us, and we spoke. And she told me some things that I didn't know. Do you understand? About their own method of teaching because they use the British curriculum. So I would like to charge you, make conscious effort, be intentional. Look out for those big schools. There are big schools that pay well. Look out for those big, some of them even offer graduate training programs. So you can just type graduate training teacher programs, okay? You will see the schools that offer such. And it is always very competitive. But then, even if you don't getting through that route, try to connect with people that you know that teach in such places and ask for the things that you will need to be or the things that you need to possess to be able to qualify to work in such places. It will really help. Because when I had the meeting with that woman, I already had that mindset, and I was no longer applying to schools that will not pay me well. I started applying to schools that will pay me well, and it eventually paid off. So when your mind is set on something, when your mind is set on something, automatically everything about you begins to think in that direction. And it is funny because you will just notice that everything around you is pointing you towards that direction. You might even just be browsing. Thank God for these Google and Facebook ads. They already know the things you search online. You'll be surprised. You'll be seeing more things that are related to that thing that you're now searching for. You should be seeing such schools coming to your screen. So just be intentional about your search. And I'm very, very certain that you will get a good one.
Yeah.
All right. I hope that helps.
Yeah, so good. And I like to add, thank you so much, Ms. Victoria. I like to add because what she's experiencing, I experienced it as well. So just precious one. That was even one of the motivations to start the Fresh Look Africa actually when we started off about 2 years ago. Because I'm like, first off, I'm leaving school. The only experience I have is theoretical. And like Tolu said, because myself and Tolu went to the same university, and so we only had teaching practice for 3 months. So we had just 3 months of, I don't know if Tolu had started tutoring before she finished school, but for me, I did not have like any formal experience till NYSC, right? So we had like 3 months of, we had micro teaching, 3 months of teaching practice, and then fresh off school, you're a licensed teacher, and then you don't know what to do with yourself. And so one thing that I did at the time was I did not stop learning. Immediately after school, after NYSC, I know that during NYSC, I was learning, not even education, I was learning another skill, but I would advise you to learn. Now that I know better, I would advise that you don't stop learning. So the question is also about positioning yourself, right, in the right place. So getting in the midst of people that are educators, like for example, joining the Fresh Look Africa community, because sometimes we post opportunities there, like vacancies in schools, we post them there, right? But one thing that I did not stop doing was I didn't stop learning. So immediately after NYSC, by the time I went for my master's, I also went to a teacher's academy as well, so that I could be in the midst of other teachers that have been there or they're already in the system. So I was with the CEO of the organization. I got close to her, got close to school owners, got close, because at the time I was like, okay, I really wanted to work in a government school. So I'm not like you right now. So I wanted to work in a public school, in a federal school, right? So I was close to teachers that were already in that system. So I was asking them to get advice. Like, do you think fresh out of school I should go into, a government school? And all of them were like, no, don't do that. You're too young to go in. I said, no, so I really want to say, no, you can come back later once you have a solid ground. But for now, the way the education system is now, as in at the time, they said I shouldn't. So they advised me again. I took their advice, right? So I started looking for schools. I applied. I submitted applications to top schools, like Ms. Victoria said, submitted to Redeemers, submitted to Chrisland. Even Chrisland invited me for their test as well. So I wrote their test. But, that's it about that. So I wrote their test. They invited me. And then, I was searching for those schools. And again, I told people that I wanted to teach. I wanted to work in a place. They wrote their test too. So I told people that I wanted to work in a private school, a good private school. So there were people that had their heads down. And so anybody out of the ordinary that will see a position, the first person that comes to their mind automatically will be me. And so that was it. That was it for me when I started working in dancehall. So how I even saw dancehall, I did not check for dancehall. But because I had someone that was working in dancehall, immediately she saw the opening. She called me.
So think about you.
She said, Adora, go and apply for this position. And funny enough, on the vacancy, dancehall wasn't there. It was just a school in Agidingbi. That was what they said. And so she said, Adora, this is dancehall, apply for it. And so that was how I applied, and that was how I started working in dancehall, right? So also position yourself, be in the midst of people that are educators or they're always, trying to see where there are openings or vacancies and all of this, and don't stop learning. This time you can take it to, so another thing I did was to volunteer. When I saw that a job was not, yes, Tolu, yes, please. So when I saw that a job was not forthcoming for me, I volunteered. I gave my time to, that's when I started volunteering in Slum to School. So I think that's the advice that I have for now. But now that you've said it, if you didn't say it, Yanu is in my, she has access to me. She did not tell me. And I didn't know this until now that I knew. So if you did not say anything.
See, Adora, I was planning to enter your DM after this meeting.
All right.
I was planning to enter your DM, serious, and I'm still coming.
All right.
Still coming to your DM, ma.
Okay. Now I know. I'm looking for Tolu. She said she wanted to say something. Why can't have? I'm trying to look for. I'm trying to. Okay, I've seen you. I'm trying to unmute you. Yes, Tolu said she wants to say something. I've asked you to unmute.
Okay.
All right.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, I can.
Thank you, Ms. Victoria, for this wonderful session. I would like to add to what you said to respect to Yan. You're already on the good path, attending trainings like this. Where I work, for instance, I got this gig because I attended a training. That one was
My network, I can't hear anything.
Can't hear me.
I can hear her. Ms. Victoria, can you hear her? Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
Tolu, I can hear you, but I don't know if she can hear me.
Can you hear me? I can't hear anything.
I can hear you.
Should I go ahead?
It's Tolu's network that went off.
No. I can hear Tolu.
Can
Okay.
you hear me?
We can.
Can I continue?
Hold on. She
Yes.
can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
We can, but you can't hear us.
I don't know why I can't hear anything though.
Network.
Okay, I can hear you now.
You can hear me.
Okay.
You can hear us now.
I didn't hear the question.
Okay, there was no question. It wasn't a question. Tolu wanted to quickly add something, and please, if you have any other questions, you can drop it in the chat quickly, so that once Tolu is done, Ms. Victoria can just answer it, and then we go.
What was Tolu's question?
No, she was making a comment. She was commenting on
I
what the
see.
other person said. Yeah.
Okay.
Can I go ahead?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yanu, that she's on the right path. The fact that she's a part of the community and she's making herself part of trainings like this. I was saying, like you said earlier, make yourself available or put yourself in the company of other teachers. If you hear about training, both free and paid, go ahead and attend those trainings, because that's where you get to network with other teachers. My job, for instance, it was a training I went for, and then somehow I just got the job and I'm still there and it's paying well. So just identify the places you want to be associated with, and then look for trainings that would probably put you in an environment, and well, you'll probably just get something nice.
Right. Thank you so much, Tolu. Do we have any other questions? Thank you. That made so much. Positioning. Your positioning is very important. Do we have any other questions so that we can let Mrs. Victoria go? Actually have another meeting, and after this have another
Thank
meeting.
you so much, Tolu. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Do we have any other questions? Any other questions?
Voice. At the beginning
Sorry?
of your videos. I say
It's cracking. Network. Nigerian network. Sorry, this is not me throwing shade. but network is funny. Oh my God. I have another like a training now with like yow. Hello, I am Akimomi. You're welcome. It's good to see you here. Okay, do we have any other questions so that we can wrap up? Thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of this training. I'm just going to wait for Ms. Victoria to try to get back in here.
Recording in progress.
I'm gonna try to. Hi, Blessed. It's good to see you. I'm just seeing you. I'm just seeing you there. So I'm going to try to wrap up. Another thing that we can do as teacherpreneurs or edupreneurs, like I already mentioned, is positioning. Positioning is very, very important. And that's why you should update your LinkedIn profile, update your bio, follow the right people. That's the only way you know about opportunities. And trust me, there are usually jobs on LinkedIn. And again, you don't have to work in a school. On getting to Canada, I noticed you don't have to work in a school. So like Tolu is one person I know that she doesn't work. Tolu doesn't work in a school, but Tolu is a tutor. That's what she does, and I'm sure she makes more money than I do in a month. I know. Tolu, tell me that I'm correct, because I used to earn 80K at the time. So tell me, Tolu makes more money as a tutor. She makes more money as a tutor. So please don't be so fixated that, oh, I must work in this, I must work in this. So if you see companies that have, that can give you the opportunity to tutor, even online. So recently, I just became a tutor as well, an online tutor, and that's where I make my money from. So glory to God. Hi, Mrs. Victoria, you're back. So I was just trying to, I know the network, I know your network, the network in our beloved country can be very funny, but you can't unmute. Okay, I've asked you to unmute. I've asked to unmute you. All right.
Okay, thank you. So I heard you talking about tutoring, and I also did that for a while before I gained a job as a classroom teacher. So that was what helped me. There are organizations that recruit home tutors. I did that for a long time before I eventually got the kind of job that I wanted to do. So it's actually a good way. And you know what? It even gives you the freedom to do other things because you're only going into those homes at the time that you want to teach. And funny enough, most of them now, they allow you to teach online. So you don't even have to go into their houses. You can teach right from the comfort of your home. So that's also a good way to earn money.
Right. So good. Thank you so much. So if you want to know more, you can join us in the community. If you have questions, throw it at us. I'm going to send the questions to Mrs. Victoria. I want us to wrap up. If you think that you need opportunities and all of that, I'll try my possible best. Something that I'm trying to do by curating opportunities for teachers for the Fresh Look Africa community. So that's something that we are trying to do and we're trying to work on as well. So thank you so much, Ms. Victoria. We are so grateful.
Thank you for having me.
This time. I know this conversation will make people go back to start thinking of, oh, what do I need to do? Where do I start from? Where do I position myself? What mindset do I have? Because it starts from the mind. If you think you cannot be financially free, you will not be financially free. If you think that you cannot get certain opportunities, you will not get certain opportunities. Yes. It is what it is, right? So I want to let you go. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you. And I'll see you in your DMs, WhatsApp. I'm talking to Mrs. Victoria. Every other person, I'll see you back in the